the coal mine, about to slip down. Course I make a little money, hauling coal by the ton. But when Saturday rolls around, I'm too tired for having fun, too tired for fun. Just working in the coal mine, going down, down, down. Working in the coal mine, about to slip down. Working in the coal mine, going down, down, down. Working in the coal mine. There's a certain girl I've been in love with a long, long time. Well, I'm Allen Toussaint from New Orleans, a pianist, arranger, writer, and I was born in New Orleans, and I will live there all of my life. But I must say one of the pleasures has been coming to Amsterdam. This is my second time here, and I love it dearly. Certain girl. Well, when I was a young man, I liked Professor Longhair very much. All piano players in New Orleans loved Professor Longhair in that time, and Fats Domino. But even aside from New Orleans, I like Ray Charles, and of course all of the great jazz pianists. I love Art Tatum, and in fact, I think I like everybody. I've tried time and time again. We end up, there's nothing but friends. There's a certain girl I've been after a long, long time. In New Orleans, when I grew up, in my neighborhood, which was a very humble neighborhood, I heard much blues then, because the old men, when they got off from work, they would take the guitar and go sit on the porch and play. And just about all of them played blues. Blues, blues, blues. For one thing, they didn't have enough time in their lives to, away from their jobs, to develop anything beyond that. Also, it's just where they came from and what they wanted to play, and I heard that all of the time. And sometime very late at night, we'd have characters who would come home after they've gotten tanked up in a joint. They would come walking down the street blowing a harmonica 12:30 at night on the way home, and we'd hear that blues, and some of the grown-ups, of course, would think that's ridiculous for them to be making that noise at night, but those of us like myself, we look forward to it. It was a wonderful time in the middle 50s and even early, but middle 50s especially on into the 60s. Irma Thomas and Benny Spellman, they were, and Aaron Neville, and I would say mostly 60s, late 50s into the early 60s. That's during the time of It's Raining and Rule of My Heart and things like that. Irma, we had a group of people who would come to my parents' house where I live, and they would spend the day, Ernie Cato, Willie Harper, Aaron Neville, sometime Chris Kenner, and Irma Thomas was the only girl with us. And I would write one of the singers there a song, and everyone in the room would sing back up to it just to get started with it, and then while they go and rehearse it further, the artists, I'd write another song for one of the other artists, and everyone there would sing back up behind them. So on some early recordings of Aaron Neville, you might hear Irma Thomas way in the background, because that's the way we were doing it then. And we lived like that. Well, they'd come every day. They didn't live with me, but they came and we spent the day every day just about. We had a wonderful time. That was our way of life.
I really enjoy this trip being here. To see all the waterways, the canals, and all the bicycles, and it's just a wonderful place. And the structures, the buildings, it's a fine place. And our audience was impeccable, just perfect. I love Amsterdam.